My brother vanished for 3 days, and the story he came back with still keeps me up at night. It started on a Tuesday. I remember because that was the day the first real snow of the season fell, blanketing everything in a thick, silent layer of white. My brother, Liam, loved the snow. He was always the first one out, the first to build a snowman, the first to start a snowball fight. But that morning, his bed was empty. His car was still in the driveway, his wallet was on his nightstand, and his phone was charging by his bed. He was just gone. We called the police, we called his friends, we plastered his face on every telephone pole in town. The silence that followed was deafening, a heavy, cold weight that settled over our house, far colder than the snow outside. For 3 days, every ring of the phone sent a jolt of equal parts hope and terror through me. My parents walked around like ghosts, their faces etched with a grief so profound it was hard to look at them. I barely slept, replaying our last conversation, a stupid argument about who had to take out the trash, searching for a clue I might have missed. The search parties combed the woods behind our house, their flashlights cutting through the twilight like desperate prayers. With each passing hour, the hope dwindled, replaced by a grim, unspoken reality. The police started asking harder questions, looking at me, at my parents. With suspicion in their eyes, they treated our home not as a place of grief, but as a potential crime scene. The town whispered. Had he run away? Was there trouble at home? Worse things were implied in hushed tones at the grocery store. I felt like I was suffocating, trapped in a nightmare where my brother was a missing person poster and my family was a collection of suspects. On the third night, I was sitting in the dark living room, staring out at the snow, when I saw a figure staggering up our driveway. It was Liam. He was covered in dirt and scratches, his favorite jacket torn at the sleeve, but he was alive. I ran to the door and threw it open, ready to scream, to cry, to hug him until my arms ached. But the look on his face stopped me cold. It wasn't relief. It wasn't fear. It was a blank, hollow emptiness I had never seen before. He stumbled inside, past our frantic parents, and collapsed onto the sofa. The police and paramedics arrived. A flurry of official noise in our quiet home. They checked him over. He had no major injuries, just dehydration, exhaustion, and a few superficial cuts. But when they asked him where he'd been, he just shook his head, staring at a fixed point on the wall. It wasn't until hours later, after everyone had left and the house was quiet again, that he finally spoke. He looked at me, his eyes dark and wide, and his voice was a raw whisper. I was in the woods, he said. But it wasn't our woods. He told me he'd woken up on that Tuesday morning not in his bed, but lying on a bed of dry, red leaves, even though our world was covered in snow. The trees were wrong-twisted and black, with no leaves, under a sky that was a permanent, bruised twilight. There was no sun, no moon, just a faint, sickly green glow coming from somewhere beyond the canopy. He said he walked for what felt like days, but he never got tired or hungry. The forest was utterly silent, no birds, no insects, no wind. The only sound was the crunch of the strange leaves under his feet. Then he saw the house. It was a perfect replica of our own, sitting in a clearing. He ran towards it, thinking he was saved. But as he got closer, he saw the differences. The windows were dark, empty voids. The paint was peeling in a way ours wasn't. And standing in the doorway was a boy who looked exactly like him, but his smile was too wide, and his eyes were just black pits. Liam said the boy in the doorway waved, a slow, deliberate motion, and then stepped back into the darkness of the house. That's when Liam ran. He ran without looking back, the terrifying silence of the woods pressing in on him, until he tripped and fell, and the world went black. The next thing he knew, He was walking up our driveway. The cold snow biting at his skin. We never told the police his story. How could we? They would have sent him for psychiatric evaluation. But sometimes late at night, I see him standing at his window, just looking out at the woods behind our house, and I know he's not just looking at the trees. He's looking for the place where the leaves are red, where the sky is always twilight, and where a twisted version of our home still waits. He never came back alone from those woods. He brought the fear back with him, and now it lives here with us.